So they'll be calling you a radical. So, by the way, first and foremost, the peace vigil's a fucking disaster right now. You have a bunch of crazy people that have moved in there and they fight with the people preaching Jesus. I mean, the opposite. I mean, it's a disaster. I'm working on it. It's much worse than I thought. Senator Wyden, when he went to Fukushima. This is important. Why have they not called the election? They called it 4 years ago. I was on the bus headed to New York to Trump Towers in the middle of the night. And I remember I had an iPad in those days and it was picking up some Wi-Fi right there at the bus depot. It's Trump, it said. They called it then. Why don't they call it now? Oh, we want to make sure we got it right. They had it right last time. When's the left going to wake up and realize the DNC is your fucking enemy? This was a disastrous election for the left, for the Democrats. Disastrous election. You got a red Republican elected president. Look at your Senate. The math, 23 right Senate seats to be plucked off. 23. Most ever. How much you pick up? Got Susan Collins out of the way finally, right? That woman's up by 7. Boop, lost by 14. Lindsey Graham's going down. Boop, won by 14. Landslide. Why? Same thing with Hillary. The real left, their real base, their grassroots are still environmentalists. They wanted Bernie. They wanted Liz. You gave them corporate fucking Republican Joe, just like you did Bill Walmart Clinton. You know, and that wasn't even a three-way with Ross Perot. Just like you did Barack Obama. Hasn't been a lefty in the fucking White House since maybe Carter, and that's debatable. Probably there hasn't been one since Bobby Kennedy was going to be blown away. Probably since JFK. Silent Springs. You know, I'm talking to Peace Vigil. When these people that claim they're helping out that don't even know who Rachel Carson is, and where are we at? Where are we at? DuPont Circle, Rachel Carson. So, why do you think Fox News is the first ones to call this? And they're like, call it, call it, call it. Their guy got elected. Biden was their guy because they want to keep things the way they are. They already captured all this from 1980 to present. Status quo. Come on, Biden. And this is important because Black Lives Matter is suspended in history. Oh, because they come and go. Black Lives Matters, Million Mass March, Occupy, Anonymous. All of those. Well, it's Kevin Blanch, the Post-Citizen Project. Well, how's long that activism going? Since I hit the ground. Since I was born. You know? Rachel Carson, born with cancer. That'd be 60 fucking years. But Black Lives Matters put Biden in the White House. It's that simple, because no one else did. You had the African American community came out and voted in the major metropolitan areas. Atlanta, Georgia, Detroit, Michigan, Philadelphia, put him in the White House. Because the contemporaries left, they didn't vote. There's an undercurrent, oh yeah, it's the left. Fucking hates the DNC. The DNC's the fucking RNC. They're the same thing. I mean, they did it in 2016. They didn't vote. Fuck Hillary. They didn't vote. I mean, you think about everybody you had, all this energy, the Women's March, you had all these women, Black Canada. And I want to say another thing. I hear all this time, well, in this city, by the African American community, that Kamala Harris is not black. Fuck, she's way more black than Barack Obama. Barack Obama's mother was named Stanley. Her official, she used it, Stanley. Whitey from Kansas, as white gets, World Bank, Whitey mom. His dad, the elite Kenyan polygamist. The whole family, Harvard Law. Nothing African American. And they says, well, Jamaican. Dr. Harris from Stanford's her father. You don't think Jamaica is African American? You don't know anything about the slave trade. Ask Alexander Hamilton. Her mother, who I knew personally, the epidemiologist of Livermore. What's Livermore? The nuclear lab. By the way, the Indian women, Fuck, go talk to Bravad, the documentary Nuclear Lies. The best anti-nuclear activists on earth are the women in India. She broke rank, she died of cancer. She was a cancer research PhD. So don't fucking tell me. I mean, I'm talking to a real dynamic, intelligent African-American woman. She's like, she ain't freaking black, and I says, neither's Obama. Oh, I'll always vote. I said, what did Obama ever do for anybody? Nothing. So it's like Trump, just like Biden. Biden says lock everybody up. And I get it. And this is important because Black Lives Matter didn't put that pseudo de facto backdoor put Biden in. They were going to support whoever the DNC put up. Why? Their hatred for Trump. This was a rejection of Trump in these major metros. I've been here for days with thousands of people. I've been in some of the, you don't even know what I've seen and been in. Not one time have I heard a chant for Biden. Not one. By the way, this is right where Reagan got shot, right there. And the president's been put in a bubble since. By the way, where's he, the guy that shot? He's right there in Virginia walking the streets. He's out. You know, at World Vision with Mark David Chapman and Hinckley were together. Where's, what? John Lennon blown away? That's when this whole madness started. When they killed the peace activists, the true peace activists. Lennon. And you think he was all soft kumbaya? That fucker was hardcore. Sir Paul. They're playing down there at the Peace Vigil. Revolution. I told that fucking crazy shaved head chick who's up in the face. I mean, turns up the music every time I'm around, and she thinks she's working the Peace Vigil, attacking people that are preaching Jesus. I said, Jesus was a fantastic activist. Playing Revolution. You ever listen to the lyrics of that song? You can count me out. It's the opposite. I'm like, you're attacking this African American guy, Jesus saves, who's wonderful. He's a fantastic dude. He's African American from this city. You're a white girl from Manhattan, and you're freaking up in his face in the name of Black Lives Matter. Now think about that. Think about that. She's attacking his First Amendment right. That's what it's turned into down here. You got people attacking each other's First Amendment's right. I moved the Peace Vigil across the street by yesterday. I don't give a fuck. I picked the sign up and moved it. I'm that pissed. They're not preaching peace. And by the way, why are there no African American environmentalists? I'll tell you why. Because the environmentalist community in the day, John Muir, the Sierra Club, and these people were racist. They were eugenics. They were racist. Well, I am the environmental movement. Kevin Blanch is the anti. And by the way, I've done over 100 interviews. You don't think my activism has been effective? I was on the front page of the Netherlands paper yesterday. I was on lead story on the opening of ABC News the other night. My Fukushima narrative has been everywhere, all over Europe. I was. They came back and did a backup interview me on France's National Public Radio, which several million people watched, and he says they loved it. Kevin, can you do another one? Every media across the world, live on RT. Let me talk about Fukushima. You know, Vice come out, says they're going to do a documentary on me. You know, and Fukushima, the cover-up thereof. Biden was in the Situation Room on Fukushima. Trump and Biden, Obama, they're identical. Environmental terrorism. I want to say this to the African-American community, Black Lives Matter. And you know well, anybody that knows that it was the Million Mass March who evolved into Black Lives Matter. That's an arguable fact. And we support you. We love everything you've done. We really support you. But this is important. We need you. I'm not a racist. I'm as far away from a racist as you can get. And I'm a white guy from Utah, middle-aged. I don't give a fuck about anybody's fucking race. I don't give a fuck about their souls, and neither does Fukushima. Fukushima don't give a fuck if you're black or fucking white or fucking whatever. They don't care. Don't care if you're rich or fucking poor. Don't care who the fuck you are, because it is an equal opportunity killer. We need you. We need you, and I understand the past. But I'm not the past. We live in today. We need Black Lives Matters in the Fukushima fight, in the anti-nuclear fight, in the anti-nuclear energy, in the Bear Monsanto, because nothing's mowing down with cancer. Ask by the way, Shaquille O'Neal's paramount on this, because he says, I voted, you know. His little sister just died of the exact identical disease I have, AML, leukemia, non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Who do you think killed her? Bear Monsanto. You think Biden doesn't support them? Oh, he does. But at least we'll get rid of Barr and these cabinets. But we've got to hold them feet to the fire. And I have a connection with Kamala. we'll see, won't we? We'll see. You know, I had hope for Trump. What a phony lying motherfucker. He told me he would talk about Fukushima. He lied. So, why have they not called this election? Real simple. They could have called. They knew Nevada was won 3 days ago. They knew Philadelphia was won. They know. They have all the demographics. They know which vote's coming. Network television ratings. Television ratings have never been so high. Ever been so high. Ever in the history of Americana. You know how much money they're making a day? Everybody's glued to their TV. Update from Nevada. Update. They could have called this 2-3 days ago. It has nothing to do with they want to knock down freaking tension. By the way, I've been in the street with these rights and left. The violence is the police. Not in this city. Well, I take it back. That'd be the white shirts, which they're not locals. So, network television is going to milk this for every penny they can. By the way, why do you think Fox News has called it? Fox News is dancing in the street. Why do you think they're the first ones that are announcing all this? Because the dumbass fucking Democrats, that it was impossible they didn't take the Senate. Absolutely impossible they couldn't get the Senate. They should have got 55. They're going to have to win both runoff in Georgia, and you know what that fight that's going to be. And then in 2 years, when the stock market will crash because it's been propped up by fucking your debt money. It's all false. It's already crashed. They're just playing a game. And then they'll run some fucking Lindsey Graham fucking against him. Oh, he's going to get beat. Fuck, he won by what, 14? This is a disaster election for the left, for the true, the environment, a disaster election. A disaster. Going to pick up Congress seats, they lost Congress seats. So, and your last bastion that saved your dumbasses, at least they got Trump the fuck out of the White House. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter's got Trump. I never heard one chant, Biden, not one, and I've listened to fucking, you name it, I've heard it down here. I've been here for fucking over a week. Not one time. Not one time. All I've heard is fuck Trump. Fuck Trump. This was a rejection of Trump by Black Lives Matter. They kicked Trump the fuck out of the White House. It's that simple. So, we need Black Lives Matter to join with Kevin Blanche, the Million Mass March on the environmental movement to fight the nuclear energy crime syndicate. Because cancer, nothing else matters. I got my anonymous hat on today. Go fucking do my gig at the Peace Vigil. So, just remember, Trump tear gas the Peace Vigil, but they're tear gassing themselves down there. They call themselves peace, and when they're fighting with asymmetric, non-political Jesus preachers. Jesus was a fantastic activist, by the way. Don't be attacking, the fake ones, yeah, but not the real ones, and they don't know the difference because they've been social engineered into a cattle chute. People say, oh, it's not their fault. You can only be hypnotized, wanted by Jetstream 2 by Keeple TV if you want to be. And by the way, Kamala Harris is 1,000 times more African-American roots than Barack Obama ever was. Barack Obama didn't have one teeny drop of any America Vespucci. Oh, you don't think Jamaica's America? By the way, oh, it's America. Ask Alexander Hamilton in the slave trade. There's nothing more America. But the people are so illiterate, they don't realize that America is a fucking... They teach it as one continent in Europe. It's a continent named after a map maker in Florence, Italy. And I want to say this also. This is important in this movement. Again, why haven't they called it? They're making too much money by not calling it. Everybody's glued to their television set and their thing. Rightfully so, I get that. Black Lives Matter. I know Damian Lillard personally. I know Donovan Mitchell personally. Look at every shirt they're selling, Black Lives Matters. Look at everything. Have you ever been to East Bangladesh? You ever been to China? In the slave camps? Oh, I have been. The difference between the antebellum slavery, your ancestors, these, at least they fed them. They don't even feed those. You haven't seen slavery. So how can you be selling a shirt that says Black Lives Matter or running down to court that says Black Lives Matters? Say her name, and her name's Danielle Willard, by the way. How can you be saying that and then look at the tag? Made in Bangladesh. Made in Honduras. Made in the Americas. Jamaica. Made in East Bangladesh. You haven't seen fucking made in Indonesia. Slavery's legal there. Legal. And I've been in them. Whoa. There's more slavery right here today than the history of the world. You're all slaves to cancer, slaves to Monsanto, slaves to Fukushima. Fukushima don't give a fuck. The most non-racist thing on earth is cancer. Stand turning.